You're good to go?
And we are live. So hello and welcome everyone to yet another weekend webinar from Board Infinity. Today we are joined with our coach Anupam, who is going to share his nuggets of wisdom with you. He is going to give you the introduction of digital marketing. What is digital marketing? But you know what? Before we move on with that, Anupam, why don't you give us your introduction about your experience in the industry, and then we can proceed forward with the session.
Sure, absolutely. So thank you so much, Ayush. And hi, very good afternoon, everyone, and welcome for today's webinar by Board Infinity. My name is Anupam Srivastava. Very quickly introducing myself. So I've been into the industry for almost around 18.5 years now. Started my career with Yahoo India. And since then, I've been working with Amadeus. And now I work at Analytic India, which is Omnicom Media Group, taking care of the end-to-end digital strategies. But to be very much precise, majorly focused towards search and social marketing. So that's a quick brief one about me.
All right. All right, Anupam. So I think we can get started with this session. You can give the introduction to digital marketing, what is digital marketing, and everything that you have prepared for. And once you're done with your presentation, we can get ahead with FAQs from students as well.
Perfect, perfect. All right, great. So I would just go ahead and share my screen now. Okay, all right. So let me share up my screen. Okay, guys, perfect. So today what we are talking about is purely in terms of digital media. What is digital media? Why do we use it? What are the benefits of using digital media in today's date? And that's all what we end up talking about today. Okay. Now, what is digital media? Now, what I understand is before even we talk about digital media, one of the most important thing for us to understand is nothing else what we call it to be as marketing. Okay. So let's come down and first talk about marketing. Okay. So what is marketing? The process of promoting your brand, product, and services. Yes, that is what is marketing, the process of promoting your brand, product, and services. And how do we end up doing that? We end up doing that with the help of newspaper advertisements or TV advertisements or brochures, pamphlets, and all these different kind of things, right? Yes. Now is the time when we talk about digital media. Now, to be very precise, if you get to see my screen now, digital media is something which we consider to be the upgraded version of, I would say, the upgraded version of marketing. Okay, a very strong upgraded version of marketing. Now, this is when we end up understanding that the process of marketing and the process of digital marketing is pretty much similar, but the major difference is the usage of digital devices and digital platforms. Now, as you could see on the screen, digital marketing is nothing else but the process of promoting your brand, product, and services with the help of internet using digital devices and digital mediums and platforms. For an example, when you get to see an advertisement on YouTube or you get to see an advertisement on Facebook, the moment you end up having a look over all of these is when it becomes pretty much important for us to figure out that these terms of promotion or these methods of promotion is termed as digital marketing. Is it clear? Now, if I talk about a quick stat in a day, okay, on an average, one person gets to see minimum to minimum around 20 to 25 ads in a day. 20 to 25 ads in a day. And that is what we get to see by default for each and every day because we end up using digital media. Yes. Now, there are a lot of advantages when we talk about using digital media over traditional marketing. Huge set of advantages. What are the advantages? Let's talk about them. Now, these are the advantages, what you get to see up over here on the screen. But more than that, let's discuss few pointers. When we talk about all of these, okay, when we talk about all of these, one more thing is very much important for me to understand is going to be something like this. When we talk about digital promotions, digital media, okay, we have to be available over the internet. And when we talk about traditional, it is absolutely and purely in regards to the offline media. Okay. Now, one factor is very much evident why a lot of people have been very rapidly moving towards digital, or why we would say that digital has already boomed up as of now, is because of the pandemic. This was the situation when it was pretty much difficult for people to step out, go ahead, take any action, or do anything at that point of time. The only way left for brands to be into a position to reach out to their respective clients, okay, and make them aware about the ongoing things, and they would be back, things would be normal, and a lot of other things in terms of that, was digital media. Talking about the major differences, or I would say the major advantages of using digital, the very first factor is cost effective. Now, let's talk about one pointer. If you want to show your ad, okay, if you want to show your ad on a traditional platform, let's say hypothetically, I reside here in Bangalore. And if I want my ad to be shown here in Bangalore, okay, if I want my ad to be shown here in Bangalore, okay, with the help of newspaper, okay, and let's say newspaper advertisement, let's say front full page ad, okay, if I want myself to be shown on the front full page ad on Times of India here in Bangalore just for a day, I'm repeating it, just for a day, it's going to easily cost you 10 to 15 lakh rupees. Yes, you heard me right. 10 to 15 lakh rupees. Now just think, how frequently do you people end up reading newspaper? How frequently? Very rare. Very barely is when we end up reading that. Yes. So that is when we talk down about something what we call it to be as cost effective. Is it clear? Yes. So that's again something which is very much important for us to be taken care of. Is it clear? Yes. So that's one of the most major factor. Whereas if you want your advertisements to be shown with the help of digital media, I'm repeating it. If you want your advertisement to be shown on the digital platform, let's say hypothetically YouTube, okay, if you want your ad to be shown on YouTube for 1,000 times, okay, here in Bangalore, it is going to cost you eventually, let's say, maximum between 500 to 1,000 rupees just to showcase your ad for 1,000 times on YouTube. Now, just you be the decision maker, understanding that which platform is much more cost effective. 10 to 15 lakh rupees for one day, and not being sure that how many people would go ahead and read the newspaper to be precise. On the other hand, 500 to 1,000 rupees for showing your ad on YouTube here in Bangalore. Yes. So that's how cost effective digital media is. Now, I understand that a lot of people would come up and say, how is it so much cost effective? Or why is it cost effective? So we would talk about that as well by the time we cover up all these pointers. Now, when we talk about the second difference or the second major difference, the major factor is nothing else but reach. Now, let's say when I talk about my newspaper, now newspaper is shown across, or I would say given across in one particular city. Yes, got it. If you go ahead for Times of India, Hindustan Times, the amount what I gave you, 10 to 15 lakh, is for one metro city. If you want to have it all across pan India, okay, wheresoever those newspapers are available, it's going to cost you easily in crores. Clear? And then it seems to be that you will reach out to more number of people. More number of people will see your advertisement over the newspaper. But that's, let me make it clear, there's a harsh reality that it doesn't works like that. Clear? It doesn't works like that. Clear? Yes. So that's again something which is very much important. Whereas when we talk about digital platform, you be seated over here, here into your respective homes, okay, create your advertisements, and your ad will reach out to each and every person all across the globe based on their interest, behavior, and hobby, irrespective where they are. Let's say if I want to promote myself with the help of the newspaper, I am technically limited max to my city, or if I'm a brand like Amazon or Flipkart, I am limited to the entire country. But overseas, with the help of newspaper, well, pretty difficult. This is when digital gives you the option to reach out to the max number of people for the least amount of money, more reach. Okay. Now, third, I consider this to be one of the most, I would say, major advantage of digital media, because when you show your ad on TV or on newspaper, you just show it to a huge set of audience. Okay. You just show it to a huge set of audience without understanding their interest, their behavior, their hobby. You just end up showcasing it to them. Yes, you just end up showcasing it to them. On the other hand, Okay. On the other hand, when we end up talking about, okay, digital media shows the advertisements only to those people who are very much interested, okay, who are very much interested into those kind of brand product and services. Let's say for an instance, have you people noticed that you people are very much interested into buying one product, or you people are very much into looking and searching for mobile phones or laptops or cars or bikes, and when you go down to various different platforms, you get to see content based out of these factors only. Oh, yes. How many of you have noticed that? I could easily say a lot of y'all. Yes, I could easily say a lot of y'all. Okay. So you might have ads being available on various different platforms. Here, yes, you would have it available on various different platforms. And that is when we end up talking about things. Yes, digital media, you can show advertisements to people based out of their interest, behavior, and hobby, such as I would like my ad to be shown only to men, only to one age group to the another, and I can happily do that. Let's make it easy with the help of a very general example. Um, let's say something like this. Um, I am a brand which is known as Gillette. Okay. Now, Gillette is more into, I would say, men's grooming product and hygiene products. Okay. So, Gillette, the major business of Gillette is selling shaving razors and cartridges. Clear? Okay. Now, let's say I am Gillette. I have promoted myself over the newspaper. I have promoted myself over the billboards and hoardings in and across the city. Now, once I am available onto these platforms, who will see me? Now, the answer is everyone. For instance, it can be a kid, it can be a lady, it can be a man, it can be everyone. Yes. Now, one single question. Can I expect all these people to come down and buy the product? Can I expect all these people to come down and buy the product? The answer is no. I cannot expect that. Why? Because I have specific restrictions to my product. Now let's talk about the restrictions to the product. Men shaving razor. The one thing is very much obvious. I need men to buy this. So that's my first pointer. Second pointer is that when I talk about shaving razor, when I say gender, I have been gender specific. It doesn't mean any age group. To be very precise, I have an age limitation. Okay, so the second pointer is going to be the age limitation. Now, what could be the age limitation? Let's say 17 plus or 18 plus. Yes, 17 or 18 plus onwards. I've got an age limitation. Third, many a times, if you talk about the product lineup of Gillette, you have shaving razors available for 20 rupees. You have shaving razors available for 1,000 rupees. Now, price consideration also is a major factor over here. I cannot expect every individual to go ahead and invest 1,000 rupees, okay, for purchasing a shaving razor. Especially, let's say, for an example, people like me, I barely shave. So I don't find it to be very much, I would say, cost effective or very much something where I should go ahead and invest a good amount of money. Right? Clear? Got it. So these are the various different, I would say, requirements which I would have when I talk about a product. Now, just think, I showing my ads on the traditional media, which is newspaper and billboards for Gillette, and spending crores and crores of rupees. Out of that, what do I get? A very limited number of it. Yes. On the other hand, instead of showing my ad to those 1 crore random people, I show it only to those 1 lakh people who could be and who are very much interested into buying a product like this. Yes. Now, as I said, that digital media is cost effective. One of the biggest reason for that is targeted audience. Just because you're not showing your ad to a huge random set of people, you're showing it to very limited and close set of audience based on their interest, hobby, behavior, and the rest of the details. You end up spending a bit less amount. And that is when it turns out to be something which we call it to be as a cost effective method when we very precisely talk about digital. Is it clear? Yes, got it. So that's again something which is very much important over here. Okay. The next factor what we talk about is analytics. Now, this is the major pillar of digital media. Okay, digital media is all based out of analytics. Now, let me just make one thing very much clear. Um, when we talk about analytics, okay, the entire digital media is purely based on two factors. The first is the kind of strategy what you want to have, and the second is going to be the kind of analytical data what you have. The kind of strategy and the kind of analytical data what you have. Clear? So that is what we come down for. Okay, that is what we come down for. Clear? Yes. Now, analytics is nothing else but the method through which you get to know that what kind of strategy you have used and what results you have got for that. Let me make it easy for you. Let's say when I send a newspaper, I get myself printed on the newspaper, or I have, let's say, got a banner printed and it's there in the most I would say traffic located place in the city. At the end of the day, will I get to know how many people saw my advertisement either on the newspaper or over the billboard? It's difficult, very difficult. Okay, how many times you people remember all the hoardings which you see across the city? You're like, please bother. Yes, clear. How would I get to know that what it is and how it is? This is okay. This is when I would say, to be very much precise. Okay, this is when I would say, when very much to be precise. Um, how shall I say? um, Analytics comes into picture, because the moment you own a digital property, may it be a website or an application or a social media account, you start getting data. So let's say, for an example, I say I have a website and people are visiting up my website. Now, at the end of the day, I would be into a position to go ahead and understand that how many people visited my website on a day-to-day basis. How many of them are the new users? How many of them are the existing users? So when I say new users, the people who visited me for the first time. Existing users, the people who have been already visiting me, maybe my existing customers or existing clients or whosoever it is. Okay. I would also get to know that how much time they have spent over my website, which all pages they have been. Okay. What is their age? What is their gender? And to be very much precise, how did they visited my website? Through a mobile phone, through a desktop, through a laptop, okay, through a tablet, whatsoever it is. What was the device, whether it was an Apple or a Samsung or whatsoever it is? What was the device model? Now I get to know model, let's say OnePlus 5, OnePlus 6, OnePlus 7, iPhone 11, iPhone 12, iPhone 13, whatever it is. I also, on top of that, get to know that whether the people who have joined me, okay, the people, those who have joined me, have actually used mobile data to visit my website, or they have used, I would say, the Wi-Fi network. Clear? I also get to know the kind of interest, behavior, and hobby what they. Yes, all these details is what I get to see, and this is what we call it as analytics. Now, with this, to be very much precise, I believe you people would have understood it by now that it becomes very much easy. Okay, it becomes very much easy for us to understand. Okay, that what is working for me, what is not working for me. Clear? Yes. So that is what is analytics. Then we talk about something what we term it to be as ease of modification. Okay, what we call it to be as ease of modification. Now, it's not like a traditional format that once printed, it's printed. We cannot do anything about that. Okay. Here, everything is an absolute and pure digital format and digital file. Okay. Everything is pure digital and absolute digital file. I can go ahead and make the changes with one single click. Okay. I can go ahead and make changes with one single click. So at any point of time, if I feel like that this doesn't look good now, I need to go ahead and update it. I need to go ahead and make the changes. You can absolutely, there's no limitations that how many changes you go ahead and make. Okay. May it be a creative, may it be a banner, may it be a copy, may it be anything. You can just go ahead and make changes as many times as you want, until unless you feel right that this is giving you results, or you find it to be the most appropriate piece of creative content, text, video, link for you. Clear? Yes. So that is what is analytics. So that is what is ease of modification. Now, the last but not the least point of what I would say is a two-way communication. Traditional marketing is all one way, means I have just, to be very precise, something like I have just shown myself over the newspaper or the billboard or the hoarding, and then people just get to see that and I am done. I don't get to know that what are they thinking about me, okay? Whether they are liking my brand, they're not liking my brand, or whatsoever it is. Yes, but here it's digital. This is where people can like, comment, share, reactions these days. You get to know that what people are thinking about you as a brand. Okay, what is your brand identity, what is your brand image, everything becomes pretty much, I would say, crystal clear. Okay, so these are few of the things to be taken care and few of the things to be kept in mind, to be very precise. Clear? So that's again something which is highly important in today's day, which is two-way communications. These were the 6 major differences why we should go ahead and prefer digital marketing as compared to general marketing. I would again repeat the points: cost effectiveness, reaching more number of audience, targeting specific set of people, tracking web data or generally analytics, easy for modification up, and obviously, yes, an interactive sort of content or interactive sort of medium, which gives you the feature of two-way communications. Yes, clear? So these are the major advantages, or rather, I can now say the differences between traditional and I would say digital media. Okay. Now with this, let's go ahead and talk about something that now, since we have spoken so much about digital, how is worked on digital, or what all factors are there of digital? Now, let me tell you, digital is more like a tree with various different sub branches. Okay, digital is more like a tree with various different sub branches, which is very much important for us to understand. Okay, now before we talk about that, we need to understand one more thing, that when people talk about the digital usage, when people talk about the digital usage, there is a funnel, okay, that every digital marketer, whether you are planning for something, you are making strategies, you are taking an action, you need to follow this funnel. The very first starts with awareness, consideration, and conversion. No matter who you are, whether you are an absolute new brand or an existing one, you have to make people aware about your brand, product, and services. Let's say if I'm an absolute new product, I come in front of you, and if I end up asking you to go ahead and buy my product, would you do that? I would say 95% of people would very next moment strongly say, absolutely not. Yes, they would say no. And then why no? What is the reason that you people are thinking of no? Let's say maybe you feel like that you don't need the product, or let's say you need the product, but you're not aware about the brand, you're not aware about the kind of services why you give. Yes, to be very precise, 10 rupees is also a big amount if you have to waste it. Yes, yeah, 10 rupees is also a very big amount if you have to waste it. So I cannot expect that any brand who just jumps into the market today and directly starts selling the product or their services or products, it's not going to work out at all. Yes, and this is where we need to be aware about these funnel. Now, the very first is awareness. When I talk about awareness, coming down to the industry, it's very much important for you to go ahead and promote yourself. Make yourself visible in front of people. There's a very common saying in Hindi, what we always say, "Jo dikta hai wahi bikta hai." Until unless you are visible to your audience, okay, until unless you are visible to your audience, do not expect them to give you any piece of conversion. Here, do not expect to give you any piece of conversion. Even if it's a brand like Maruti Suzuki, they still have to follow the funnel. Let's say they launch a new car, okay, and they have not done any marketing for that. They have not made people aware that there's a new car coming up and so on, so on, XYZ. Can I expect you to go ahead and buy the car? No. Why? The answer remains the same. I'm not aware about it. Yes. And these days, when you talk about cars and things like that, these terms under a kind of luxury buying, for which people do a huge amount of research. Okay. I have experienced a lot of time when I've went with my friends and my family members to buy a car. The one who's purchasing the car for themselves, are much more highly aware about the product as compared to the salesperson out there. Even I am one of them. When I bought my very first car, I was in and out of the car. I knew each and everything about the bike. Yes. So awareness is very much important. Even if you are famous as a brand, just because you're launching a new line of product, it is mandatory for you to go ahead and make people aware about yourself. Then is when it's consideration. Then is when people start telling that, okay, this product seems to be good. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Clear? When you are able to recall a product's name, you saw an ad today and out of nowhere, you need some work to be done. And then you realize that, okay, I've seen one ad like this. Hopefully this could be the one which would eventually go ahead and help me out. That is what is consideration. When you say that, okay, next time let me go ahead and try that restaurant or try that product. And that is when you start considering it that, okay, I would go ahead and try about it. Clear? So that is what is termed as consideration. And then conversion is the final action, which could be people have bought your product, they have registered on your website, they have downloaded the image, whatsoever it is. Clear? Yes, all right, perfect. Now, also keep one thing in mind. To be very much precise, conversion is going to be different people to people, brand to brand, and product to product. If it's an e-commerce, let's say Amazon and Flipkart, for them, the conversion is going to be nothing else but sales. Yes. So only when people purchase the product, the brand will be like, yes, I am perfectly okay with it. Clear? So that is what is termed as this. Or let's say if you have a blog, or let's do it like this. For all the viewers, those who are watching it, tell me, if I am having a blog, what could be the conversion for me? Quickly, tell it to me. Yes. What could it be if I have a blog? Okay, all right, let me go ahead and answer. If I have a blog, I would like people to, I would say, eventually go ahead and subscribe to my blog so that they can keep on getting newsletters. The other, I would say, conversion, what I could have is that when I would like people, okay, when I would like people to come down to my website and spend time over there. Because only when people spend time, they would be reading your piece of content. Yes, only then is when they would be reading your piece of content. Is it clear? Yes, got it. So that is how it works. Is it clear? Clear? Got it? So this is the funnel, what we call it to be as awareness, consideration, and conversion. Now let's talk about the factors of digital media. Now, digital media has got a lot of factors. We'll talk about one of them, all of them, and then we would try to understand all of it. Okay. The very first, when we talk about the verticals of digital marketing, is a website. A website in today's date is one of the most important factors. Okay. No matter whether you have an online business or an offline business, website is a must. And on top of that, we are in India. The moment you say that you own a business but you don't have a website, it's done. People don't consider your brand to be a legal one. They don't consider your brand to be actually existing out there. In today's date, website means everything. Because now we are still into the pandemic mode to a certain point of time. We are moving slowly and steadily towards the endemic. But still, if we need to look down for something, we just go ahead and Google it. And what do we get on Google is nothing else but websites. Yes. A lot of people get confused that I should be aware of coding when I want to build up a website. The answer is absolutely no. Gone are those days when I would say coding was only required to build up a website. But now, to be very much precise, building up a website is as easy as designing up slides on Microsoft PowerPoint. You can do absolutely each and everything without coding a single line and build up a website for yourself. Clear? That's what is website. And this technicality of building up a website without coding is termed as WordPress. Now, does it mean it's a drag and drop? So technically, no, I would not term WordPress to be as a drag and drop website because to be very precise, WordPress itself is a coding platform and it gives you both the option. If you're okay, you can go ahead and code it and you can get your website ready. But at the same time, if you feel like that you're not aware about coding and you would like to use the UI feature, which is user interface feature, you can just go ahead and end up using it. Yes. So that is what it turns out to be as website. Okay. Now moving ahead from website, we come now to search engine optimization. Now, rather more than I show this to you, I would love to go ahead and share across my screen. Okay. So here I go. So now let's say you get to see I am here on Google. Now, what is search engine optimization? So first, quickly giving you a gist. Search engine optimization is the process of getting your website onto the top ranking position on search engine. Let's say I end up searching for buy shoes. The moment I have searched for buy shoes, I get to see a lot of results. Do you get to see? Yes, I've got Myntra, Amazon, Tata Click, Flipkart, Ajio, Shopperstock, Metro Shoes, Bazaar, Shop Shoes, all of these. Did I search for these brands? No, I just simply searched for buy shoes. Now Google said that, okay, Anupam, if you have got a website, go ahead and register it with me, which is Google. Now, post which what I would do, I would understand how nicely a website is built and you have followed um, my terms and conditions to build up a website or not. If everything is done, then whenever people will end up searching for anything, and if it is relevant to your website, to your brand, I would end up showing it to you on the screen as a result. Search engine optimization. Clear? But now again, you would see that someone is there at the top. Let's say Myntra, Amazon is at the second, being the biggest e-commerce brand in today's day. So why Amazon is at the second? Because Google feels like that when it comes down for buying shoes, Myntra is far relevant as compared to Amazon to the set of audience. Amazon, if you talk about the stats and the numbers, the maximum, okay, the maximum number of products which is bought from Amazon is electronics. Yes, whereas Myntra is one specific website purely dedicated towards the clothing, footwears, and accessories. Yes, and hence Google ends up showing Myntra at the top. Yes, at the same time, if you see, there is one website which is termed as Mochi Shoes, which is shown at the last. Do you think people generally go down to the last and look down for the result, or let's say, to be very precise, to Google page 2 or page 3? Do you think people go down and have a look over that? No, absolutely not. Let's say shop for Reebok is shown where? It's shown on the third page. Do you think people will go down to third page and look down for the Reebok results? No. Let me make a small change in my own statement. It's not important to be on Google. It's important to be on the top ranking position of Google. Yes, clear? Search engine optimization is a time-taking process. Okay, on an average, it might take somewhere around 90 days to get yourself on the first page. I'm repeating it again, on the first page, not on the first position. Okay, not on the first position. Is it clear? Yes, got it. This is what is termed as search engine optimization, which you need to do it again and again. Clear? Yes. Now let's go down to the next factor, what we are supposed to talk about, which is termed as Google Ads. Now, just prior to this, we spoke about search engine optimization, and I made it very much clear that on an average, consider 90 days for your website to come on the first page, maybe the last position. Yes. Do you think you as a business could wait for 90 days to show yourself at the top? Because if you're not shown at the top, people will not click on you and then forget about the conversions and the kind of objectives which you want to achieve. So Google also understands this situation. Google says that, okay, Anupam, I understand that 90 days are too pretty long to get yourself on the top. But in the meanwhile, or simultaneously, what I can suggest you, Google says, is that you can end up running paid advertisements. You can end up running paid advertisements. Now, in paid advertisements are something like this. Let's say ads. Yes. This is where Google says that, okay, I will show you at the top, real time top, but you have to pay me for that. Yes. How long do I need to pay to Google? Till the time I want to be shown at the top. But at the same time, here, your results will mention as ads, which clearly says that this is a paid advertisement, and people will get to know these respective brands, whether Puma, Relive, Adidas, Nimans. People will get to know that these brands have paid Google to get themselves at the top ranking position. Also, for a lot of people who get confused, it is an absolute legal process. Okay, it is an absolute legal process. Is it clear, all of y'all? Yes. Okay. All right. Perfect. Great. Now let's go down to the next one. The next is social media. Now, I mean, who doesn't know social media? We people have been spending a tremendous amount of social media, especially after the lockdown. People started from making coffees to being a chef at home, and I would say do it yourself crafts, singing, dancing, teaching, training. Everything has been done with the help of social media. Somewhere or the other, personally, I feel like that social media would be the easiest platform for people to pick up, because this is something what we have been doing personally as well for a personal usage. But now in this industry, what we have to do is we eventually have to understand. Okay, we eventually have to understand that, okay, all right, whether, okay, whether I could, okay, whether I could go ahead and use this social platform to scale my business, yes or no. Whether I could go down and have this and scale my business using social platforms, yes or no. That's what is social media for us as of now. Clear? Yes, got it? So that is what it is. Okay, clear? Then we come now to email marketing. Now again, email marketing. How many of you receive emails? And let's say especially emails from Myntra, Amazon, Flipkart. How many of you end up receiving it? I would say everyone. Yes. Sending bulk email to people with one single click for promoting your brand, product, and services is known as email marketing. In this, I individually send email to people. Yes, but it's not like one after the another. I send it to all of you all. You all will receive it into your respective inbox, but it would be sent by me with one single click. Yes. A lot of people get confused that email marketing is all about sending emails. I am like absolutely wrong. I don't consider that. Email marketing is not only about sending email, but it is all about making sure that people are reading your email. Okay. For an example, um, how many of you how many of you have how many of you have read all the emails in your inbox? I would say barely one or two. What about the rest? Too many emails, not interested, spam emails. Let's say if I'm a digital marketer who have sent email to all of you people who have not opened the emails, I have lost. I have lost time, money, strategy, efforts, everything. My work was not only to send emails, but to make sure that I send you an email and it is so much interesting and it goes at such a time that you go ahead and end up clicking over the email. Clear? You end up going ahead clicking over the email. That is what is termed as email marketing. Clear? Yes? All right. And then we talk about analytics. Now, analytics is what I have already spoken about. But now, this time, instead of talking about, I would take this moment, an opportunity to go ahead and show it to you. So, as of now, I am showing you one particular website, which is similar web, which can be tried by you people also at any point of time. Okay. So you can just come down to the website, need not to log in or create or set up any account. I would just search for anything. Let's say Amazon.in. I've searched for it. Let's wait for the results to pop on the screen. Okay, here we go. So it said that, okay, April is going on. So the data is available for March 2022 on the right hand side here, if you could see this. Yes. Now it says that, okay, the parent company for Amazon India is Amazon.com. Okay. All right. Founded in 94, has got more than 10,000 employees. Uh, Headquarters is in Washington, United States, Seattle. Their annual revenue is $1 billion, and they are into the e-commerce and shopping marketplace industry. Okay. As of now, on which platform, what kind of, who all are the competitors, and so on. So it's being shown up over here. Okay. I again click onto the country rank. So it will tell me the country rank, what kind of country rank do I have? And then I have the category rank. So in the category rank, it is at the top. It's at the first position. Okay. Again, coming down, it's telling me that in the month of Jan, the total number of people who visited my website is 356.8 million people. In Feb, 291.2 million. And again in March, 318.1 million people. Yes. On an average, how much time do people spend onto your website on Amazon, which is 5 minutes, 3 seconds on an average. And also on an average, one person is visiting almost around 7.5 pages. Yes. With this, I also get to know that from India, I've got the maximum number of people, which is 91.95%. US is 2.64, UK 0.48, UAE 0.46, Canada 0.35, and the others are categorized at 4.12. Yes, clear. Now I get to see that the people who visited my website are interested in what kind of things. So programming and developing softwares, other computer, electronics and technology, education, online news, search, Google, India, these kind of things. Yes, got it. So this is what analytics is, and this is how you end up getting data for yourself when we talk about analytics. Is it clear, everyone? Yes. And last but not the least, we end up talking about online earning. Now, obviously, we all know that after, let's say, in case if you start learning digital media and everything, so you have multiple career opportunities. First, you can become a digital marketer and get into a full-time job. That's the very first thing. Second, you can become an entrepreneur by having up your own startup. But third, you can become a freelancer. Now, a lot of people would be aware about this terminology, that who's a freelancer and what he does, and a lot of people might be unaware about it. So now, what is a freelancer? A freelancer is a person who's not having a 9 to 5 job, who's not bounded to things, and he can go ahead and work on the projects directly with the clients and get paid for the results. Yes, that is what is a freelancer. Clear? Yes. Now, under this online earning, you are into a position to learn affiliate marketing. You are aware about, or you are supposed to be aware about AdSense. These are few of the methods when you, I would say, end up earning money as a freelancer. Yes, you would see a lot of people on YouTube, they keep on telling that if you have liked the product, link is below in the description, and would request you to please go ahead and click on that and buy the product. Clear? Yes. So these are few of the major pointers when it comes down to online earning. Clear? Yes. And these are the overall factors of digital marketing, what we talk about. Okay, clear? So this is where we talk about digital marketing and the various different factors of digital marketing, that what is there, how it works, what all other set of factors are there, and things like that. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? All right, perfect. That's great. So this is digital marketing, the verticals of digital marketing. Now, into the upcoming sessions, we would be talking more about it. We would be talking about the individual objectives, expanding it and trying to understand that how does it works and what all things are there. All right. So now I would request, I would say Ayush to go ahead and take care of, and then let's go ahead with the FAQs. Thank you, everyone.
All right. All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Anupam, for joining us for this session. So, let's just quickly jump into the FAQs, which are typically asked by the students. So, first of all, the burning question, the question that we get asked the most is, how much can a fresher expect a salary in the domain of digital marketing?
Okay. All right. Perfect. Now, when we talk about the salaries, let me be very much clear with this. When we talk about the salary is going to be different based on organizations to organization where you start working. Okay. Plus, on top of that, it also depends on which location you're located. Okay. To be very precise, an average salary for a certified digital marketer could easily expect would be somewhere between 20 to 25,000 rupees. Okay, clear. And this is what I'm talking about from, I would say, an agency point of view. Okay, from an agency point of view, MNC would be giving you some closer numbers, but it is obviously going to be different based on your overall work experience and your overall certifications and your education qualification as well to a certain extent. Okay, so an average number to be precise between 20 to 25 is what you could expect.
All right. All right. Now, the second most burning question that we are being asked is, there are multiple domains one can work in the space of digital marketing. One can be a SEO analyst, they can be a PPC strategist. Similarly, there are multiple domains. So, what the learners wanted to know is, what are the various roles that they can opt for? And then again, the second follow up to that was that which one is the easiest to get into?
Okay, all right, perfect. So I would say something like that. When you talk about which vertical to get into, okay, so I would say completely straight onto this. One of the most important thing to understand is that which vertical you are strong at. Okay, if I forcibly tell you get into search advertisements or social advertisements, you might not have interest out of that. So the first thing which I would like to put across as a point is that you are interested in what. Okay, you are interested in what. That's the first thing. Whereas I am a person who would always suggest that be into a position where you are able to take care of the end-to-end digital activities. Okay, you're able to understand and take care of the end-to-end digital activities. Okay, but still going out of the box. Okay, I would say social media is something which is used by each and every brand. Okay, onto a very wider extent, because we knew that at the time of pandemic we saw the live things that brands were not able to do anything in the market, whether it's Amazon, Flipkart, they were not able to sell the products even. Yes, it was all because of the situation at that point of time, and social media was something which kept them running, getting connected to their brands, having interactions, taking care of things, and helping them out. Even we saw that because of the first pandemic, even the call centers and the support centers were also completely switched off. And that is when every brand said that if you have any issues, reach out to us on social media. Yes, social media in today's date is one of the strongest vertical to get into. And on top of that, if you are a bit creative, that's the best vertical to get into. But again, as I said, I would eventually say if you want to get into the industry with either of the verticals, absolutely fine, perfectly welcome. But I would also suggest you that keep upgrading yourself so that at a certain point of time, you're into a position to take care of the end-to-end strategies.
Right, right. So the third most frequently asked question that we have is students say that learning the concepts of digital marketing is one thing, working on capstone projects is one thing, but what should they keep in mind when they are actually joining the companies, MNCs, and then they are taking on the real life project? So what are the things they should keep in mind?
Okay, all right. So learning digital marketing is something which eventually gives you the base. Okay, because when you say digital media, it's all about tools and platforms. Okay, and here it's not about theory, it's about your hands-on experience. Okay, what you learn gives you an overall brief of how it needs to be done. Yes, at the same time, getting an hands-on experience on all of them is a must. And that is why if you talk about, let's say we take our example at Board Infinity. Okay, the theory, if I talk about the overall kind of sessions what we do, okay, I would say 90% of our topics is absolutely practical. 10% is what we cover up as a theory, because understanding the base and making a foundation strong becomes important. Okay, the more you work on to, the more knowledge you get in terms of the tools and platform. That's the first thing. The second thing what I would eventually tell you is you need to keep on updating yourself, because the tools, the platforms, Google itself keeps on updating minor changes onto a daily basis, major updates every quarter. Yes, so it's very much important to work on to all of these. Okay, very highly recommended. If you just go out with a certification stating that I have learned digital marketing, but no experience or working over the tools and the platforms, well, it's not going to be that pretty much easy for you to survive there. So yes, it's mandate to work over the tools and platforms. Highly required.
All right. So thanks a lot, Anupam, for sharing your nuggets of wisdom. I hope the learners enjoyed it, and the learners who are not watching it live and they're going to watch it in future. I also know you guys are going to, enjoy the session. So if you want your career guidance to be with people like Anupam, where you want the real life industry experts to teach you the concepts and you want to upgrade in your career, you want to excel in your career. With that being said, thanks a lot, Anupam, for joining us. It was a great session.
Thank you so much, Ayush. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening ahead, all of you. Thank you so much, Ayush. Bye bye.
Yeah.